What is happening? I am angry. No, but really. Yeah, Minnesota Vikings man 28. Angry, disappointed, and just I can't. I just can't. I Even if we would have won the game, made the playoffs, we wouldn't have gone far. This was total garbage by the Vikings. I have never seen a more disastrous game. And this is probably one of our worst games yet. Besides the Bills game, this is second worst. You know how I said that if Kirk Cousins, one of the key matchups, if you saw that video, that's gonna be the key thing. If Kirk Cousins plays good, then we're gonna be just fine. Let me give you some stats. 20 of 33, 132 yards, and a touchdown. That one touchdown, let me say that one touchdown. We didn't deserve that touchdown. We did not deserve that touchdown. Penalties helped us go down the field and get that touchdown. Rushing, we could not rush the ball. We rushed for 15 times with different running backs. Dalvin Cook, 11 for 39. Murray, 2 for 18. Then we got a rush by Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen. Our leading receiver was Stephon Diggs. He managed to get over 1,000 yards. That's the only accomplishment I can say. Now my 12 Days of Vikings, it's going to be down in the description below, is actually now true. 2 1,000-yard receivers this season. But, Kirk Cousins just, I don't know, doesn't trust him enough, I guess. I mean, I know the Bears defense is good, but you need to, 11 catches combined between them, not bad, but you need to do a little bit better. So, Diggs, 8 catches, 47 yards, touchdown. Adam Thielen, 3 catches, 38 yards. Cook, 4 catches, 21 yards. Rudolph, 4 catches, 19 yards. In terms of our defense, how many sacks do we get? Let me see. Defense. Big fat nothing. Big fat nothing on sacks. Oh, how many tackles for losses? 1 tackle for loss, and that was Harrison Smith. This defense, was pretty. It wasn't terrible, but we need to step it up. Yeah, and if you look at the Bears stats, if we're looking on defensive points, Mitchell Trubisky, 18 for 26, 163 yards, no touchdowns and no interceptions. Jordan Howard, he steamrolled us. 21 carries, 109 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Cohen, 5 carries, 24 yards, and a touchdown. Even Trubisky got some carries himself. Their leading receiver had 61 yards. How many times did they sack us? Oh, 2.5, 3.5, 4 sacks on us. Okay, so now that I've gone over some stats, let me tell you what needs to change. Now that we're not in the playoffs, because the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Washington Reds, because I knew I couldn't count on, a fourth-string quarterback and Adrian Peterson to help us. No. Even the last week, the Texans, could have. I don't really know. We don't deserve. We didn't deserve to go to playoffs. I'm gonna say that right now. And I'm not happy that we didn't make the playoffs, but at the same time, you know what? This puts things in perspective now. Kirk Cousins, it's a little complicated because who is to blame? Who's to blame? You got Kirk Cousins. You have the offensive line. You also have Mike Zimmer. Yes, I'm adding Mike Zimmer. I know some of you guys Viking fans love Mike Zimmer. I do praise him when he does good for us. The defense has been, outstanding. this year. I think it's it's top five. It was number three coming into this game. I think it might have dropped to like number four, maybe after 4 or 5 after this game, but still top five defense. Great, but that's not where Zimmer comes in. So let's break it. Let's break each one of them down. The most obvious one to pick on is Kirk Cousins. Yes, I'm gonna say this right now. I might trigger some people. Who cares? Case Keenum in that system is better than Kirk Cousins, because they were talking about during the game how Kirk Cousins is so precise. He plans everything. That is not, you can't plan everything. You cannot have it this way. If it's not this way, then he won't do it. No. Case Keenum was not like that. He knew that we had 2 star receivers, and he just threw it up sometimes. Even, some of them were interceptions. He trusted them. Kirk Cousins doesn't seem like he trusts them as much as Case Keenum. Kirk Cousins got frustrated, and on that one play where when he was, you know, with Adam Thielen, and you saw that he was arguing with him. That I was trying to think of the word, arguing with Adam Thielen, and doing those hand motion like you should have been here. Like, no, it's Kirk Cousins' fault. It is Kirk Cousins' fault on those types of things. On those things, it's not the entire fault why we didn't make the playoffs, but he is too precise. He is too precise, and I don't like it. Sometimes you gotta let things free flow. That's what Case Keenum was. This is not it. I'm not a big fan of Kirk Cousins, especially now. He can be good at sometimes, but now that I'm looking at it, is the improvement of Case Keenum? No, he was not. And Case Keenum made the offensive line look good, and because he scrambling out of the pocket and all that, he would he can create stuff with his legs also. Cousins is scared to run. He is scared. He is always hesitant with everything he does, every play. He's just playing. He was playing scared. In the big moments, he can't do it. He just can't do it. So talking about we talked about offensive line. Let's get into offensive line. And I'm gonna tie this, and this is gonna tie in with Mike Zimmer also. Like Mike Zimmer, offensive line. How's that gonna tie in? Offensive line. Injuries on the offensive line have really hurt us. We have not been getting good offensive linemen. We haven't drafted offensive linemen. Offensive line, it prevents us from running the ball. It prevents Kirk Cousins from having more time. So I don't completely blame Kirk Cousins because his offensive line is not good. Terrible offensive line. But that's also a result of not enough depth at offensive line, where Mike Zimmer comes in. That's where Mike Zimmer comes in. I have to blame Mike Zimmer because he is so defensive minded. He limits. He lets the offensive coordinator does his stuff, but he limits him in some ways because he loves his defensive players. He loves drafting defensive players. I mean, I respect these last defensive picks with why is it blinking out on me right now? I don't know, but with Xavier Rhodes and Trey Waynes in the past. So yeah, this is, I mean, great by him for drafting defensive players, but we need something different. We need to get offensive linemen, because if he's focusing all on the defense, a defense, of course, I always believe wins you championships. But if you're not also focusing on the offense, you're hurting your team. Mike Zimmer is sort of hurting this team because he's being a defensive coordinator and not a head coach. If he was just a defense coordinator, fine, but he's not doing a good job at head coach. So he is going to be on that hot seat from now on, until we get back into that NFC Championship game position. which I don't know when is that going to happen. But this team right now, not in good position to, I don't know, make another playoff run. We have the piece to do it, but we're wasting it right now. And I had to look up. I blanked out because it was Mike Hughes. Mike Hughes we drafted out, also great, but um, we need to be balanced. Mike Zimmer is too controlling sometimes, and I don't like it. Um, in terms of John DeFilippo, offense coordinator, it really didn't make a difference. It did not make a difference. Now that I'm looking at it, you know, John DeFilippo, you know, not, I mean, and Kevin Stefanski, both the same. Um, they should not have gotten rid of uh, John DeFilippo now. Now that I think about it, it didn't make a difference because the offense, you're giving someone with limited pieces. Well, you got Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs, but the base, the offensive line, especially with a weak offensive line, you can't really do much. You can't really make any, improvements. You can't, you have to do a lot of screen passes, like quick passes. I So Kirk Cousins, offensive line, Mike Zimmer. We need to fix that. We're gonna be looking at the 2018 NFL, 2019 NFL draft. I feel bad that the Vikings are not going to the playoffs. The season was really a letdown. A lot of things went wrong. You can blame it on Daniel Carlson. If that we would have won that game. You got a tiebreaker with the Philadelphia because you won against Philadelphia. Lost to Buffalo. Am I missing anything? Um, any of our other losses, you can just Seattle. That's another one. Kept it close defensively, but our offense is that big question mark right now. And if our offense can get together, then it's just a waste. When I went on Tom Grassi and said Super Bowl or bust, when we have Kirk Cousins, we signed him to this 4-year deal, or 3 or 4. I think it was 4-year. In that 4-year window, it's gonna be Super Bowl bust. Right now, it's looking like a bust. It's really Super Bowl or bust. I'm still hanging on to. I'm still gonna stick with that. So yeah. Well, better luck next season, Skull Nation. This has been Minnesota Vikings Man 28, and as always, Skull.